magician, a comic, walked into a bar. And here we all are. Welcome to the eclectic mix known as Legends TV. And first of all, etiquette. Robin Channing, is it okay to say magician or do you prefer mentalist?
I'm both, actually. I swing either way.
You swing either way. Okay.
All right.
Okay. It's 2016. That's cool.
Yeah, right? Might as well say, right?
It's legal in all states now. So
Thank you.
And Steve Esposito, comic or comedian? What do you prefer?
Either or. I swing both ways as well.
Okay, everybody swings both ways here. And poet John Winnell?
Just poet.
Poet.
I go up and down.
Okay, all right.
So we're all swingers here, all right?
There you go.
For all you ladies, I know.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, no, don't send the hate mail.
Okay.
So this is, as I said, the eclectic mix known as Legends TV. And we're going to throw some lady wrestlers into the mix later and have a live set of magic, of poetry, of comedy in the tradition of Joe Franklin and other great talk variety shows of the past. Ed Sullivan comes to mind as well. So, what's been doing, Robin?
What's been doing? Well, quite a bit. I've got quite a few shows lined up. I got a gig in Atlantic City coming up next week, Saturday. But I've also got September 26th at the illustrious Mousetrap Cafe.
That's right. And one of the co-owners, Tom Mealy, is here in studio, also the co-owner of Madhouse TV. And Mousetrap Cafe is a beautiful venue, so come out on the 26th to see the Robin Channing show. And how's it feel to play beautiful venues like that in Atlantic City?
Oh, it's just great. I mean, the Atlantic City job, I'm looking forward to it, but the Mousetrap Cafe, I cannot say enough good things about that place. It is gorgeous. It is exquisite. That's just the atmosphere. The food is equally as much so. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about that place. Having been there once, it's just unreal.
So my big question is, in a large venue, and I'll pass this out to all of you, Atlantic City, for example, or the Mousetrap, is it harder or easier when you have an audience that isn't, right on top of you? There's a distance. Does it make it harder or easier for a performer?
It's for what I do, because I can do strolling and I can do stage. To me, I've done both so long. To me, it's simply a trade. It's not so much.
But inevitably, when you stroll off a stage, there's a portion of an audience. It's not a great sight line. I mean, there's pluses and minuses with everything as a performer. I'm just asking you: is it better to be in a smaller, intimate venue, or a larger venue where there's a larger audience and it might be more electric?
Well, I don't like to put different venues on the same scale of comparison. They each have their own pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. That's why I prefer to think of it as a trade from one, to the other. Like if I were on a much larger stage, that's great because there is a unique thrill for having a large audience, and you have that physical distance.
And there's more electricity.
There's a special electricity there. Yeah.
Well, what about poetry?
I've played in larger rooms and then in smaller rooms.
What do you prefer?
Again, it's the same. It depends. I mean, smaller room. To play a larger room where they're listening is very exciting, and it's electric, and you feel the connection. I mean, there's nothing quite like that. But then there's also something special about a small room. I mean, I agree. Each of them have their own, something.
We were just talking that Louis C.K.'s playing the Garden for 3 nights, Madison Square Garden. Amy Schumer's playing the Garden. It has to be a different experience than working in a small comedy club. What's your take on that?
I feel like with a smaller comedy club, you have an audience that's so immediate and so close to you, where you can do these different things where you can riff off of the audience itself. I remember actually the very first time I performed at Broadway Comedy Club, and I blanked out halfway through my set. It was the first time I ever performed there, and blanked out halfway through my set. But I kind of improv the rest of it using the help from the audience. Right. You can't do that at Madison Square Garden. You can't just stand and if you're in Madison Square Garden, you probably are much better trained in the first place. Right. Hopefully.
Not just there, that's right. That's,
But you get those moments where it's almost like theater in a way, because you go see a show and you see something that happens, you're a part of that. You'll remember that. I will always remember that show. My friends will always remember that show because that's something that doesn't normally happen, and you get that with those smaller, a little bit more intimate shows.
I've seen comics open for major music acts and get booed off the stage
Yeah.
because the audience is there for the band, and the comic is basically killing time for them, no matter how good they are.
Well,
So
that's what it's always been. That's that's historical.
yeah.
Even in vaudeville, especially, they've always had comics, opening up for musical acts just to keep it going.
It's a
to keep
tough
the
gig
audience.
if the comic is unknown. If the comic has a following and a reputation, the audience may be a bit more respectful. But if they don't know the comic, many times they'll eat them up, a large audience. It's tough.
Evan, I think maybe is it possible that if the comic, if it's an unknown comic, would the comic have to really work his rear end off that much more just to bring the audience in?
I think you
True
always
with
have to draw an
true with
audience in
anything,
it.
you have to.
Here's a good question.
But more so if he's unknown, right? I mean,
I just-
If you're known, you have your fans there, or people have expectations.
Right.
If you're unknown, there's no expectation, so you
the
want
expectation
to be,
is I want to see the band.
Right.
That's the
Right.
I've done plenty
And
of
I've
open-
seen people
yeah.
throw bottles at comics and
Lovely.
the days of the Palladium
Lovely.
or the Ritz, where they would just like get off or throw liquid at them, that happens.
As a comic, my question would be, and I shouldn't, I said this is a good question, I shouldn't compliment myself before the actual question. But how much time do you actually have to draw in a crowd, to grab them before they lose interest and start looking at the phone, chatting?
I'm going to say the first 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
You got like
Wow.
10, barely that. Because stage presence has a huge deal in that. You go up there, if you look like a schlep, like, you're going to go up there, and people are going to be like, okay, whatever, and you have you literally have your first joke. You have your first joke, and then they either stick with you, or they're going to be on their phones, or something like that. And that's very disheartening.
Well, maybe it's always been. I mean, I remember the days of the Tonight Show where they'd have a comic on and you could hear.
Yeah.
Even Carson would let people go on longer if they had the audience.
They said when
Yeah.
Carson welcomed you to the couch, that was the sign that you had made it.
Yeah.
And the next day, these people were famous, because back then you didn't have 2,000 channels. You had like three
Yeah.
main channels, and everybody was watching.
Right.
Yeah.
It's-
So it's a different world. Different world.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you guys on stage?
Oh, where do I begin? Oh, yeah. I'm like, okay, now I'm blanking out because I've had so many crazy moments that have happened on stage. It's just one of those. Actually, one thing that comes to mind, or one phenomenon that comes to mind, is that I like to think of the audience as more or less shaping the show. So much like Steve, how you play off the audience. Sometimes certain people will say certain things, and all of a sudden that becomes a line that I use in my next show. And I was going to say in magic, there's a philosophy. I think it's called hits per minute, if you will. Like within so many minutes, how many magic effects can you hit the audience with? And especially when you're opening a show, ideally you should hit them as soon as possible, like within not just that first 10 seconds, but maybe within that first 5 or even 2 seconds or
Yeah.
so. Like hit them immediately. In fact, because when I do strolling, that's what I do. I do stuff that as soon as people see me, I've already hit, scored a hit. And especially on stage, especially if you're unknown, you have to score that first hit within those first few seconds. And especially in, not just the initial reaction, but like the first set that you do has to be hit within those first few minutes.
Right.
And then there are sets where it takes anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes of setup, of setting this, setting the stage, if you will, before that big hit finally hits.
Have you ever had I know you don't like the word trick, have you ever had something just not work? Just,
Yes, I have.
so what do you do in that situation?
Oh, depends. I've reached a comfort level where I could say, okay, this isn't working, so let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that, but then depends on what it is that I'm doing. If it's a certain routine where there's no out, then I could just say, okay, I was doing well until now.
Right.
Right. So I just sort of play off that, and in a way, I think it's a little bit more endearing to the audience when they see me as human enough to where I admit that I've made a mistake.
Okay.
You know.
Because I know comics, they have set lines like, better not quit my day job, which is funny, and then they laugh at that, and you go on to the next joke if the joke bombs. I mean, I think it's a little easier than a 5-minute magic trick that suddenly doesn't work.
There's a magician comedian. His name is Jonathan the Great.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
And he does that very well. Like, he has things that definitely just don't work, or something happened, and like he's able to play that off so well just because he's kind of in both areas. He's in both segments.
Actually, Amazing Jonathan, is it?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great guy, by the way.
Yeah, really funny.
I've seen. Oh my gosh, he was one of the guys I grew up watching, Amazing Jonathan,
Yeah.
and I love his attitude. Like one of my favorite bits that he does, he says, "Okay, now we're gonna do the famous Chinese linking rings," and he brings out a pair of rings that are already linked. He's like, "As you can see, they're already linked. It saves us a lot of time."
That was the one that came to my mind too. I was just
Right.
like, that one is my favorite. Here they are, gone.
Yeah, right. So the fact that he just rattle it off, I love that, you know, because he has that comfort zone and he could just, you know, rattle things
I
off.
was emceeing a show once. John was there, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
That
I'm
was
emceeing a
fun night.
show. A drunk guy walks up on stage. So the guys who promoted the show, they're like, Evan, get rid of him. I'm like, I'm not security. I'm the MC. This guy could have a knife, a gun.
I was doing a set, and he came up, he
Yeah.
was yelling out, "How about some reggae?" And we were just like laughing along, just playing along with. But he actually at one point jumped up on the stage,
Yeah.
and I think during one of the musicians that were playing, asking for reggae. So you know we had to kind of.
We kind of defused it nicely, but you know, you never know if a guy's violent or crazy. The guy's plastered, and then suddenly he's on the stage with you. You know. So yeah, crazy things happen. The worst things that happen are usually tech issues. You know, all of a sudden the sound's dead. Or I was doing a live radio show once at WBAI. I was on there for 16 years. We had a blackout. We're sitting there in the pitch dark, middle of the night, in the studio. And the late, great Fred Giabald, my radio mentor, goes, "We're off air." You know, I'm like, "Yeah, we are, Fred. It's pitch black and nothing's lit up anymore." So yeah, crazy things happen.
Nothing you could do with that except for,
Yeah.
was the whole city out or just BAI?
I think just BAI. I mean, unless it was one of those deals where it's a couple of blocks that go out. You know, you don't know. You're sitting there in the dark.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to say, Evan, you were asking me before about if anything's gone wrong. Magic has an interesting opportunity in the sense that there are certain skits where you have to deliberately create a scenario where something has gone wrong. It's
to
for
go
the sake
back
of the
and fix
routine.
it.
So, you know, for the sake of the, I don't want to give away trade secrets, but certain things, it's for the sake of the method.
Right.
So it's for the sake of psychologically bringing the audience's guard down and so forth. And, you know, comedy, of course, that's one of the nice things about comedy is when people are laughing, they stop thinking.
Yeah.
Very convenient. It's great misdirection.
And also the 2-drink minimum really helps too. So
Yeah, right. That too. So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because there was a party that I did. I was doing a version of a Rubik's Cube act that I was doing. And I was not exactly having a good day, so I did one or two mess ups earlier,
Right.
and you know the audience and an audience for a magic show can be very unforgiving. They can be ruthless, and
they came there to be surprised.
yeah, right. It's like I saw you got this thing. I'm like, okay, fine. So when I was doing the Rubik's Cube act, and there was a segment where I deliberately mess up, I want people to believe that I honestly mess up, and so when I drop something and they really believe that I screwed up right then and there, and I'm like, okay, I've got them. You know, so that's one of the nice things about magic. There's two schools of thought. One where you deliberately mess up, and it's actually part of the performance, and then you hit them really hard between the eyes. Or two, where you actually screw up, but then you improvise in such a way that people think, oh, that was part of the performance. So
Duke
it's a very subtle
Ellington
art.
said, "Never let them see you sweat."
Yeah.
We've had tech issues here. We've done almost 200 shows, and sometimes guests will no-show, they'll be late, they'll come in the middle of the show. You just roll with it. You can't panic. I mean,
Yeah, right.
You have to if you're performing. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I always have like the script in front of me when with the poems, but you know, I haven't memorized them. But
Except for a couple of plugs, I have nothing in front of me. This is total improv, folks.
Yeah.
This entire show is total improv.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Okay, but quick question before we cut to a commercial break. Poets that influenced you, magicians that influenced you, comedians that influenced you. Go.
Oh, God. Poe, there's contemporary guys, Joseph Brodsky, Walt Whitman, the whole Russian, uh, Turgenev.
Who's on your shirt?
Well, this is my my honorary. Well, I have a couple of themes of Edgar Allan Poe. This is like the more Baroque or simple, I should say. It's less Baroque than the other one. But there's so many, even contemporary, Wallace Stevens, or Pushkin. I mean, there's so many great, poets historically. For me to go, I go back even to guys like Homer, who I think is where it all begins anyway. So, it's hard to say.
Homer. That goes back. Yeah,
Right.
that's old school.
Yeah, right.
No,
Yeah,
but it all,
that's like BC old school.
it all seems to. When I read, I think it was last summer, I reread those. I could see how much in this. I hope this doesn't sound too stuffy. That that all of what I was reading in Western literature seemed to be influenced by those guys.
So I have a question for the educators. Is it better to teach Homer's, the Odyssey, the Iliad, or is it better to teach something like Langston Hughes, which is much more modern and accessible?
Depends on the age of the students. It's all good. I read Homer.
Can most kids handle Homer? Or?
Passages of it. They probably might know it without even knowing it. Because there's so many. There's all of Western and Virgil, and some of the. It's such a tremendous influence that they know it without knowing it. But again, to appreciate something, I find you have to kind of find it for yourself. It's hard, with kids, you have to grab them with something that they can relate to.
Right.
So some teachers, they made films where teachers were doing the lyrics of Bob Dylan, and now there's actually college courses on that. So bringing in hip hop. I know they did a show of Tupac's, so anything to kind of stimulate the thought processes where you can kind of relate to it and then just kind of go from there.
Okay. Robin, magicians that influenced you?
Oh, very long list, but I'm just going to go with the ones off the immediate top of my head. David Copperfield, of course, he was one of my heroes and idols growing up. I want to give a big shout out to Tony Hassini, who is one of not only my mentors, but also giant influence on me in terms of general magic, business, and common sense. And let's see, cards alone, I could say a lot of influences on cards, like David Burgess, Leonard Green, Juan Tamariz. For all you magicians out there, I'm giving
Ricky
a shout out
J,
to those guys.
Ricky J.
Ricky J, oh
I
yeah,
met
he's
Ricky
awesome.
J.
Awesome. I can't say enough good things about him. Carl Cloutier is still one of my heroes. Rocco Solano, one of my heroes. Let's see. Oh gosh, who else? Oh, in terms of mentalism, I can go on and on. Guys like Banachek and Richard Osterlin come to mind. Of course, the late great Tony Corinda and Theo Anneman. One of the.
Okay, so my question is, and I'm a fan of magic, mentalism. The vast amount of these names I've never heard of. Why is it that it's so hard to get to that David Copperfield level or the David Blaine level? I mean, most of these guys, the average person would not know, unfortunately.
Well, most of the names that I drop, they are people within my business. So within our community, they're giants. And Copperfield.
But how do you get to that next level?
Oh well, it's tough. I mean, now actually nowadays there are a lot of different shows out there like America's Got Talent and Penn and Teller Fool Us and so forth. So those are opportunities for new young magicians nowadays to get their 10 minutes of fame and so 5 minutes of fame. Back then it was a lot harder because there were so few channels back then. So if you were on a channel, you were awesome because you just mentioned Johnny Carson. Yeah. So there were only so few channels back then. When Copperfield made it big, that was that era, the 70s and 80s. Right. So he made it huge because of how TV was structured back then.
Right.
And David Blaine, he showed up in the 90s, so that's like a little bit out of that era. There were a few more channels back then. But David Blaine made it to that big era because, again, there were only so many channels, and he did something that no one really had ever done before. He took close-up magic, brought it to the streets. Basically, it's rebranded as street magic.
Right.
And
So branding
Yeah.
and marketing is an important part of making it.
Oh, very
in
much
any
so, yeah.
aspect of show business. So Steve, comedians that influenced you.
Louis C.K. is definitely on the top of that list.
Why?
He has
What do you like about him?
he's got a very personal way of looking at things. Like
Okay.
he'll talk about something, like he'll bring it down to a very basic level. All of his jokes break it down to something relatable, and he'll build it up from there.
Okay.
And one of my favorite bits that he does is, of course, but maybe, where like of course is the general idea of like, yeah, of course this is wrong, but maybe is the other side of like the more devious, not absolutely true kind of a thing.
Right.
And that's something that exists in everyone. Like we'll see a situation where like of course that's a terrible thing to happen. But on the other side I had this other conflicting thought. And everyone has these thoughts and they're not, for some reason they just kind of brush it away, and he embraces that part of the thought and makes a joke out of it. And then he'll hit you with something kind of distant, and then he'll bring it closer to you.
Okay.
He also talks about life. In his show, he makes it totally understandable what it's like to live the way that he lives, or that people.
The good and bad of married life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And,
Woody Allen says, marriage is the death of hope. As a married guy, I can relate to that to a degree. Any the Mount Rushmore comedy? Would you say Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, George Carlin?
Oh, absolutely. Those guys are. I mean, they're.
They used to say Bill Cosby, but you know,
Yeah.
he's kind of like on the outs now.
It's also having a past in music myself. Like you look at these people like they're unconditionally heroes for me. Like if it wasn't for people like the George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce, and any of those guys, you wouldn't have the comedy style that we have
The
today.
freedom,
the
freedom to curse, the freedom to talk about real things instead of just airplane jokes. We don't need another airplane joke.
I mean, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy. Like when they did the.
I'm
their
sorry
shows.
Eddie Murphy squandered his vast talents making horrendous movies, but Eddie Murphy's stand-up was tremendous.
Oh yeah.
He pissed it away. The movies are horrible for the most part.
And then
It's a shame.
Yeah, and most recently, I've really been taking a liking to Hannibal Buress.
Oh yeah.
It was written on shows like 30 Rock, which is one of those shows that's on Netflix. And
He helped put the heat on Cosby.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He did a
Yeah.
joke about. He actually wrote there's a Cosby
Was
joke in
that
30 Rock.
Apatow?
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal
Because I
Buress.
know that Apatow I had heard.
That was after the
Did a
fact.
whole-
Yeah, he kind of jumped on the train on that, but yeah, Hannibal Buress was the first one who kind of like wrote a joke about it, threw it into the show, and then once everything came back, everyone's like, "Oh, wait a minute, there's the joke on the show." And he's like, "Yeah," and he was always like you said, bringing the heat.
I want you
on
to
Bill
know,
Cosby.
I saw Pryor at the very end live, and it was very sad. He had giant cue cards. He did about 45 minutes. He was a shell of what he was. He was
Yeah.
sick already, and he was walking very awkwardly, and everybody in the audience was touching him, because like they knew this was the end. This
Yeah.
was in the 90s. It was very sad.
I mean, how about guys like Jonathan Winters and Robin Williams? I mean, how about?
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were not.
Robin Williams. Oh yeah.
I mean, talk about great.
Oh, there's
Oh,
many
yeah.
great
It's-
comics. I mean, yeah.
But I remember Pryor, and I mean, that was
Pryor in
sad.
his prime, who touched that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he was, he took it to another level. Very honest.
I just
Red
said,
Fox, how about
Red Fox, yeah. I just said I don't want to hear any more airplane jokes. But the funniest airplane joke was Seinfeld when he said, "I don't like to think of my seat as a flotation device." That is funny. That is funny. Anyway, guys, plug whatever you need to plug. John's got your book
Well,
here.
I have the one book, and I'm in the process of, I'll plug that, Poems for Everyday People. If you like the set, there's still some available, JONWINELL, at Facebook, at Yahoo, and then there's a store in the city on Prince Street, McNally Jackson. They can print up for you as well, and I'm in the process of trying to put together at least one volume, maybe two, or a larger, second. I've gotten some nice. So yeah, that's.
Robin?
My website, robinchanning.com.
The appropriately named RobinChanning.com.
Yep. ROBINCHANNING.com. I'm also on Facebook and on Twitter. I think I got a Google Plus account, and I know I've got a YouTube channel, Vimeo, Dailymotion, and so on and so forth. The majority of my videos came courtesy of Legends TV, by the way.
There you go.
And as a reminder, the Mousetrap Cafe, Magical Mondays, September 26th. Showtime starts at 7 a.m. Please be
7
there. if you're
p.m.
there.
PM.
7 p.m. 7 p.m. I'm sorry. Okay, brain fart. I'm sorry about
Yeah.
that. All right, 7 a.m.
Magically
I wish I could
lost
start early in that morning. That'll be an interesting opportunity right there. Breakfast magic. All right. All
Right,
right.
here are your eggs.
You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't miss September 26th. We're wrong.
I'm going to plug this project I've been working on called the Nerd Adventurers Guild, which is a very nerdy YouTube channel that myself and my friend Kevin are starting. Also want to plug in my wife's channel, Rissa Rants. It's very easy on the eyes, so you can really get into it.
What is that about?
She does a bit of vlogging, which is kind of like, documenting what's going on through the days. She has unboxing videos where she talks about makeup, she talks about video games, and I make an appearance in there every so often as well.
There you go.
The Adventures Guild is very much a, once again, comedy and nerd-based kind of an area that is my personal forte and passion, where we talk about things like Dungeons and Dragons to any other tabletop games, Cards Against Humanity, stuff like that. So
Okay.
that's all I got to plug. And my personal Twitter, which is @AgitatedStove. If you can find that, that's me. And you might also know me as the guy who had the really good Pokemon joke. So that's really that's all I got to plug.
And later, these gentlemen will be on stage. We're going to have the last half hour of the show, a live stage show in the tradition of Ed Sullivan. So you will get to see them perform. Speaking of performers, Lalo the Don was on last week. We had almost 3,000 views on YouTube since last week. Lalo the Don, Thug Gentleman. And all thugs should be gentlemen, so there's a moral to this CD. My book, Apartment 4B, like in Brooklyn, about the turbulent East Flatbush of the 60s and 70s. If you think it's racially tense in 2016, read this book back in the day. And today we have wrestling at La Boom nightclub, 4 p.m. I'll be heading there right after this show. Phoenix versus Pentagon, 2 out of 3 falls. You've seen them on Lucha Underground. This was the best match I've seen in New York in 20 years. The rematch is today. Don't you dare miss it. And if it's okay with Robin, I want to dedicate the show to Robin's mom, who recently passed, and Tom Maley's mom recently passed as well. So we're going to dedicate the show to them. And speaking of illness, unfortunately, get well wishes to Adam Marr from Orange Burns, the band. He was supposed to be here today, but he was unable to make it. And what I'd like to do now, if it's okay with Vicky, is show a minute or two of the Orange Burns video and then segue into a commercial. And we're going to get Adam and the band on a different Saturday. So we're going to show a little clip of this video and segue to a commercial. When we come back, we're going to have some beautiful lady wrestlers and Max Vitelli from the Phoenix Wrestling Federation's Thunder Kittens. So always an eclectic mix right here at Legends TV. And you can listen to me on Main Event Madness Radio. And this is Thursdays, 8 to 10 p.m. at wrestling-news.net. Wrestling-news.net. John Curry and Mark Madison, the hosts. Yours truly, a correspondent. So listen as well. Without further ado, Orange Burns, a live performance video. And coming up next, the Thunder Kittens. Don't you dare go anywhere, folks.
Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly used in Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m.
We are back with Legends TV, joined by our friend Max Vitelli from the Phoenix Wrestling Federation, and two of the Thunder Kittens, Clarice Trumbull and Venus Divine, making their return to the show, and honorary Thunder Kittens, Robin Channing and Steve Esposito, because one of the Thunder Kittens had a stomach ache, so much for the show must go on.
So much for that, right?
Yeah.
You know, like drill, like it's got to be old school. I've got a stomach ache, I got the runs, but you know what? I still got to do the show. That's a dying art. It really is.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Anyhow.
you have a big show coming up. Tell us about
Oh
it.
my God, yes I do. Okay, first of all, everybody, welcome back. You know, we're very happy to be here at Madhousetv. I'm very happy to be surrounded by my Thunder Kittens who don't shave and the ones that actually do. Okay, so we have the biggest event coming up on September 25th in Nutley, New Jersey. It's going to be at the IWF Arena.
Okay.
Kevin Knight, who has done me a huge favor, is renting out the whole arena for me. We are going to have our first live taping, our first live main event. The iPay-per-view is going to be running for it. It's going to be
So this is a
called-
live pay-per-view?
This is a live taping. It's going to be it's on iPay-per-view. It's called the Ascension to Redemption.
Okay.
And I've hired a lot of local talent. I've hired a lot of guys from CZW. I hired a lot of guys from NYWC out here. Yes, I went to the Long Island boys, and I've got them as well too.
Bobby Dream's going to be there?
Bobby Dream is going to be there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh. He's
Jackson,
colorful.
He's very colorful, and that's going to be that's going to be his tag team partner for the mixed tag match that we're doing. Yes, surprise! And we got Jackson Vile who's going to be there. We've got a cruiserweight division going on as well too. We've got Lucas. What the heck is his name? We've got some kid named Lucas. We've got Wes
Some
Craven.
kid named Lucas. That's going to sell
Lucas
tickets.
Sane. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lucas Sane. Sorry, Lucas. Lucas Sane is going to be one of the cruiserweights in competition. Wes Draven is going to be one of the.
I've seen Wes Draven.
you've seen
High
Wes
flyer.
Draven?
He's excellent.
It's a high flyer. We're going to get the oohs and the ahs from the crowd, from all the cruiserweight guys. We're going to have our women's championship tournament start that night. We're going to have our men's intercontinental championship start that night, and we're going to have the cruiserweights and some of the new Thunder Kittens are going to be in action that night as well too. And this is the crazy part. This show is absolutely free.
Wow.
Free tickets. We're giving away free tickets on Eventbrite.
Do you realize you're a better talker than 90% of the indie wrestlers?
Do you realize you've never
Yeah.
had a character like me before?
That's right. Anyway,
Okay.
so Clarice, what's been happening since your last appearance?
Oh, I've been definitely busy dealing with legal matters. You can imagine in the business, it's just crazy, insane. You have to deal with all sorts of conflicts. People bailing left and right. Obviously, lacking of the old school work ethic. People not showing up. It's like, hi, contract. You're supposed to be here, right? There were performers who say, oh, I have the flu, but they've got to get on stage and dance in Madison Square Garden before hundreds of people. And yeah, they've still got to get out there and dance, and they do it.
And they still dance, goddammit.
Can't even tell.
Can't even tell.
Recently, our friend Chris Levin was on TV saying that the State Athletic Commission would not let a woman wrestle a man. And you're talking about a mixed tag team, so what's your take on this? I'll throw this out to all of you.
What's my take on this? Well, first of all, Clarice is not a active performer. She is not. Clarice, why don't you tell them exactly what you do exactly for the organization?
Basically, my function is I'm legal counsel to the Phoenix Wrestling Federation as well as Mr. Max Vitelli.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm very tiny, so
Well,
Okay.
That worked too well.
we've had tiny good, but what she lacks in the ring, she makes up in litigation. So that's it's really and that
In
hurts.
wrestling, you need more
You
lawyers.
need more. You absolutely
Yeah.
need more lawyers. And
That's
I
the real
always
battle.
thought, hire a good-looking lawyer because she could hurt them in the wallet, where it really hurts.
There you go.
So, anybody who wanted to ever come after me before, you can't now. So anyway, but that's basically it. That's her whole thing. But what my take is with the New York City Athletic Commission, as far as women getting in, look, this is a form of entertainment. Everybody is watching WWE and they know it sucks, and they're watching TNA and they know it sucks, and they got a musician who is now the commissioner of TNA, which they know sucks, okay? And they've got CZW, which used to be a great organization, and that's starting to suck. So now you're looking at different forms of entertainment. This is another form of entertainment that goes back to when people were watching the WWE in the Attitude Era. This is when Chyna was the Intercontinental Champion. This is when Sable was powerbombing Mark Merrill on the mats, and people were eating this stuff up. So for the Athletic Commission to turn around and say that a woman cannot wrestle a guy, obviously none of them are married, okay? Because, okay?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and obviously none of them have girlfriends, otherwise they would be getting beat up by a girl. It could be a very sensual thing, okay?
I've had friends lose houses, end up living in a basement after a divorce settlement. So women can powerbomb men.
They can,
Yeah.
like I said,
Stay married.
financially.
Steve. Yeah.
Financially. But, and basically, and most of these guys are probably gay anyway because they probably never had a woman before either. So that's going to be another thing. Yeah, I said it, okay? I said it, all right?
Politically incorrect.
All right. Have you seen some of the senators from New Jersey and stuff like that? You know, anyway. But anyway.
Anyway.
Anyway, look, here's the thing. If Bonesaw Jesse Brooks...
He's a heel wrestler. He says stuff like this. Don't take it literally.
I'm sorry. No, but look, if Bonesaw Jesse Brooks wants to get in the ring with a guy, I'll be more than happy to book her. Hey, Jess, come on over to New Jersey, hon. No problem. We've got it. We've got mixed matches. We got mixed tag matches. No problem. Because this is the entertainment that the people are asking for. They want to see a women in power. They want to see women empowered. They want to see this kind of action, and we are delivering this kind of action only at the Phoenix Wrestling Federation. And as far as everything else go, Rick Cataldo is a very good friend of mine. He is a transsexual, transgender, and cross-dresser wrestler. He is one of my favorite guys. Okay, and he's the most entertaining guy. And we're also going to be introducing that as well too. We're going to be
Sonny Aziz is awesome.
Sonny
Also,
Aziz.
he's done our show.
Sonny Aziz also wants to. We're also been talking to him as well too about doing.
I've
that
got
show
drag
as well.
kings and drag queens coming on in a few weeks. So we support everybody here.
There you go.
So let's go direct to the source. Venus, you're going to get in the ring with a guy. Is it a different way to approach a match? Are you a little more nervous? Is it more physical? What's your take?
I'm nervous but excited at the same time.
Okay.
And I'm not versing a guy, I'm tagging with the guy.
But-
Going up against
Another mixed tag match.
Yeah, but-
another mixed tag team.
But when the guy on the other team gets in the ring with you, it's going to be physical, right?
Yeah, but I just don't care. I don't care if I fight men or women.
Okay.
As long as I get the job done.
She's a true competitor. She hasn't seen her opponent yet. That's why.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's a 6'2" menacing guy, wears a Punisher mask. His name is the Dark Machine.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's who she's going to be taking on, along with his tag team partner. So that's what's
Should be interesting.
Well, like I said, it's the entertainment that everybody's been asking for, and we're giving it away for free. We're not charging $9.99 a month. We're not charging any ridiculous pay-per-view charges. Like UFC is charging for $60 tonight just because everybody wants to watch CM Punk. But this is free entertainment. It's my gift back to the wrestling community to give them the entertainment that they've been asking for, that they've been begging for, that we're going to be delivering. Hot girls, great-looking guys, basically destroying each other in the ring, and this is going to up our game majorly. We've got a major New York magazine that we're going to be speaking to this coming Wednesday. We have a possible former WWE star, superstar, women's superstar, and former Playboy model that might be making an appearance at our show as well too. This is huge. This is big media circus stuff.
Wow.
So.
Are you going to be involved on the show itself, in the ring, talking? Because I watch some of these indie wrestlers talking and I cringe. I just cringe. You should do the talking.
I am the major mouthpiece for this organization.
There you
So
go.
when
Perfect.
when it comes to the promos and actually introducing the show and hosting the show, I've hosted many shows before. I've done Nashville, Tennessee. I've done South Jersey. I've done Laverne, Tennessee, which I will never do again. It was a bad experience. I don't want to talk about that. No, but I've done shows, outside in New York as well too. And I've always been the host with the microphone. I've never been afraid of the microphone. I've never been afraid in front of talking to people in front of a camera. Well, you know that.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So, and who better than to sell my product than me? Who could sell it better than me?
So what do you think of the lady wrestling and the women's wrestling and the WWE? I keep hearing about the women's revolution, and I watch it. I haven't seen 10 great matches in the past 5 years. I think it's overrated. What's your take on the women's wrestling in WWE?
I think that I'm finally glad that they brought up some of the girls from the NXT, that they brought up Bayley, because I think she's a very talented wrestler. Other than that, I mean, you've got Natalia, who should be looking to step down. You've got Eve Marie, who should be like either on Hustler magazine or Penthouse magazine and not in a wrestling ring because she has no talent at all whatsoever. You're hearing stories about Paige going out with Alberto Del Rio. Really nobody's business. It's really turned into, they haven't really focused on the women's storyline, which Becky Lynch said they should focus more on more women's storylines, which they're not doing. They should focus more on the women's matches, which they're not doing. I mean, they increased their women's matches, but from 1 to like 2. Oh boy, isn't that amazing, okay? We have four women matches happening at our events, and we're gonna have them happening at every single one of our events, okay? Because this is entertainment. This is what the public is asking for. WWE, Vince, Shane, you ain't listening to the public, people. You're not listening to them. This is why your ratings are down. This is why you had to go to $9.99 a month. This is how you got 1.5 million subscribers, and this is why I'm gonna be taking 10,000 subscribers away from you guys.
You know, there's a microphone there. You don't really have to scream.
Oh,
I'm kidding,
I
Max.
forgot that was there.
Yeah.
So, but that's basically, I'm giving the public what they want. And what better way to give it to them what they want than giving it to them for free? I'm building the brand. I'm building these new superstars. I'm building these indie guys who are some very talented indie guys, okay? I got a call last night. Jimmy Jack Cash is going to be joining me as well,
He's a
too.
big boy.
He's a big boy. He's going to
Yeah.
be helping me with the production as well, too. I am honored to have
Venus,
somebody like him.
don't wrestle Jimmy Jack Cash.
No,
he's
no.
a big boy.
Regardless what Nina
Yeah.
said. Yeah, regardless.
How big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's big.
He's big.
Yeah.
Huge. Like twice the size of Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Like if Brock Lesnar ate Brock Lesnar.
If Brock's
That's right.
Brock Lesnar, that's right. That's how big he is. And regardless what Nina says, she can't kick his ass. No, trust me.
Yeah,
So I'm happy about that. We've got Omen Rockshaw. He's also going to be coming in as well too.
He's supposed to do this show. He's colorful.
He's
I
very-
know him a
he's-
long time.
he
I know him
calls
since he
me-
was a kid.
He's a great guy. He really is. He's got a very good heart, and he calls me brother. He actually does call me brother. So.
Everybody in wrestling calls everybody brother.
That's true, brother. That's
That's
it.
right.
So
That's
But-
right. See, my take on women's wrestling is Sarah Del Rey should be wrestling. I don't need somebody that looks like a penthouse pet. You know, I want to see quality wrestling.
Exactly.
Chigusa Nagoya from Japan.
Yes.
That woman is tough. I want to
Yes.
see her wrestling. I don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to look like penthouse pets.
well, what about this other one from NXT? Asuka? What's her name? What's the one?
Oh yeah,
Asuka.
she can wrestle.
She can wrestle.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
Gail Kim can wrestle.
Gail Kim, yeah, but they don't want Gail Kim back, okay? They
Gail
don't.
Kim can wrestle and she's beautiful.
And
That's a
she's-
perfect combination.
That's a great combination. I mean, you know, who would you say, in your opinion, was a great combination that looked great and could wrestle?
Gail Kim.
That's it? Trish Stratus?
I suppose. I mean, Bailey can wrestle. She's,
Bailey's a cute kid and she can
Yeah.
wrestle, okay? Well, we don't even say, I don't say wrestling, but they could perform. And they put on a great performance for the audience. If you got the audience going, ooh, if you got the going ah, or if you got them saying holy, you know what, S-H-I-T, or, you know, if they start chanting this is awesome, then you know you're doing your job.
when I go to wrestling, I want to see wrestling. Imagine that. Imagine that.
You want to see Bruno Sammartino, Pedro
No, I wanna see
Morales,
quality
you wanna see- you
wrestling.
want- but you, the old school guys. You wanna
Today I'm going to see Phoenix against Pentagon, 2 out of 3 falls. These guys are world-class performers. World-class.
That's happening in Farmingdale, right? Today?
No, that's at Laboom in Queens.
Oh, Laboom.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Ah, that's our January show, Laboom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Laboom's a nice venue.
We got Laboom in January. My whole idea.
Just tell them to turn down the volume a little. It's like
Abs-
deafening.
That's why they call it La Boom. But
Your ears go boom after a while.
absolutely, yeah. But you see, here's the thing. I'm making a major investment into my company, and every show that we're doing between September and December are going to be free. So I'm outlaying the cash for all of this because I believe in my product. I believe in the talent that's behind my product, okay? I mean, Venus has been on every TV show with me here and every TV show in New York. She's very dedicated. She's been with me for 8 months, and she's coming along beautifully, okay? And now I got the baddest red-haired lawyer that New York has to offer, okay? And that is now on my side. I actually have a woman that's actually defending me on my side. I mean, it's like... That's a miracle after 15 years of marriage, you know, it really is.
Wow. Anyhow, we're going to see all you guys on stage in just a few moments, so
Yes.
plug whatever you want to plug.
What do I want to plug? Okay, once again, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we have the September 25th show that is coming up. It's at Nutley, New Jersey. It's called The Ascension to Redemption. And to all the people out there who have turned around and said to me, "Hey Max, why are you still doing this? You're not a good promoter." Well, guess what? This is why it's called Ascension to Redemption, because this is where we're ascending from the ashes. The phoenix is rising from the fire. And our redemption is going to be the amount of entertainment, of sports entertainment, that we're going to be giving the public absolutely free. That is September 25th, IWF Arena, Nutley, New Jersey. Start time is going to be at 2 o'clock. Autograph signing, chair flying, elbow smashing, every kind of entertainment. Guys, girls, all under one roof, and it's all absolutely free. And for those of you who can't make it to the show, we're going to be having it available on pay-per-view for only $9.99. That's 3 hours of content for only $9.99. Okay, I did my plug. Thank you very much.
All the context clues tell me that this taping is free. Ladies, would you like to plug anything?
Well, I am an entertainment attorney as well. I have a, thank you. I also have a film production company called One Way or Another Productions. We have a film called Alienated. It's in the iTunes store. Go check that out. It's the last film of Taylor Negron. Also, I'm an actor, singer, writer, model. Go to various courthouses in New York City. Might see me around sometime. Say hi. Don't scare me, though.
There you go. And Venus?
You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Venus
And
Divine.
spell your name.
At Venus Divine.
Spell Divine.
DEBYNE.
And E. There you go.
There you go. All right, folks. When we come back, we're going to take it to the stage in the tradition of Ed Sullivan. We're going to have a little of everything, poetry and magic and comedy. So don't you dare go anywhere. This is the eclectic mix known as Legends TV. We will be right back.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Welcome Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Hello, welcome back to Legends TV. I am the comedian Steve Esposito, and I want to present the first performance of the magician and mentalist, Robin Channing. Hopefully by the end of this, I still have my wallet.
You'll be missing a whole lot more than that. And I'm referring, of course, to your sense of reality. Steve, stay here. As a matter of fact, I would like 3 more volunteers. All right. Max. Reese, was it? And, ooh, watch it. There's a, thank you. Okay. Lawyer, Venus, thank you so much. Now, let's set the stage, shall we? Yes, the people at IKEA like me. So, so for our first demonstration, let's see. We are going to need one of you to examine one of these. All right, check that out. Make sure it's nothing more than what it is. Just a stainless steel, heavy-duty Costco spoon. Can we agree on that? Yes? Yes? You're okay with it? Okay, yes? All right. As a matter of fact, you know what? Actually, here, examine this, examine this, examine this, examine this, and this one here. All right, and that one. Yeah. Okay. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's try something here. First of all, I've got this. Now, this is just a sign of things to come. I'm just gonna here. I'm just gonna do this. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. Hold on a second. Okay. You know what? Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Open your hands, players. Yeah. That's good. Both hands together. Okay. Here we go. All right. Check that out. And what I'd like to start with here is, well, I started with that, how the power of the mind can influence physical reality, okay? Now, quite often it's called telekinesis. So this was a more extreme example. Let's just try a much more subtle example here. Can we get a tight shot on this, all right? Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. See that? I'll give one of the other spoons here, just so you see the basis of comparison here, all right? Now, I said telekinesis, that's one philosophy involving this. Another philosophy can come from martial arts, all right? And in martial arts, in China it's called qi, in Japan it's called ki. It's just 2 different terms for the same concept, this whole notion of internal energy externalized into a focus point, all right? All right, let's see if we can get a tight shot on this. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see. Okay, all right, here we go. All right. Just have to focus, gather the energy. Here we go, here we go. All right, here we go. See that? Usually people clap. Yeah, thank you, Evan. Thank you. Now, so you know a little bit more about me. You should know that I'm a movie buff, all right? One of my absolute favorite movies of all time was The Matrix. And in The Matrix, there was a spoon-bending scene with a child. A child who said words to the effect of, do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. There is no spoon. Then you will see that it's not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself. All right? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, like I said, I'm something of a movie buff. Of course, I have to make that straight the hard way. And I'm going to reference another older movie, The Exorcist. Here we go. See where this is going? Here we go. Yeah, see that twist in the neck there, right? Yeah, that's like the work of at least 2 pairs of pliers. I mean, yeah, thanks, Evan, thanks. Now, another one of my favorite movies was Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I also like Terminator Genesis, okay, I like that one too. There was a character called the T-1000, a character made of liquid metal. I figured if I could take the concept of liquid metal and externalize it into a focus point, maybe we could get something interesting. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I'll take the remaining straight spoon. Thank you so much. All right, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. Okay. You guys have been great for the first part of this. Yeah, check that out, right? But you know what? You have a souvenir there. Let's see. I don't want to leave anybody out. So, okay, go get it. Here we go. All right, here, that's one for you. All right, Venus, that's one for you. And another one for, okay, there it is.
Ice cream school person. Okay.
Thank you for being polite, by the way. The imagination could have been a lot worse with the shape of this one. Never mind. All right. The comedian knows that. Yeah, right. All right, Steve. Now, next what I'd like to do is, well, I'm not going to explain why I'm about to do it yet. I'm going to save that for later. I want to build a sense of suspense. But the first thing I would like to have from all of you is consent. Now, actually, could you guys shift over to this direction over here? All right. I am going to, at this point, require your consent.
For what?
Consent to be my personal prisoner here on this stage. Who wants to go for? Okay, I'll start with you.
Well,
all right.
the volunteer should really step forward.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Venus, okay. All right. Pick a padlock and chain, any padlock and chain. You were expecting a card trick, pick a card, any card, but okay. All right. That is one. Okay. We'll take the rest. Steve, hold on to the rest of these, please. Thank you so much. Now, you will notice that this is a combination lock, right?
Yes.
And only with the correct combination will this open. Incorrect one, nothing. The correct one, there it is. Now, could you hold your wrists together, please? Thank you so very much.
This is the longest she's ever going to be.
Okay, all right. So we do this. Moments like this, I do enjoy my job. All right, I will admit. Okay, and make sure you are comfort within reason. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me just make sure you are all locked up like this. All right. Oh, and you know what? Pick an envelope. Any envelope? Okay, take that. Hold on to the remaining ones. And just so the home audience can keep track of who is who and who is doing what in this juncture, let's see. Let me see where we are. Okay, yes, let me see where we are. All right, okay. Okay, let's see. Venus, is it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just so everybody, the home audience, can keep track of who is who and so forth, I can just put this on you, yes? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
And from now, you can pick a seat, any seat. So you get a lot more than just pick a card and a card. You pick a chain and padlock, pick an envelope, and pick a seat, all right? Now, having said that, next person. Okay, Max, how you doing? Pick a chain and padlock, any chain and padlock.
Okay, I knew I wasn't going to get out of this one.
Okay, that's the one. All right, very good. Again, let's just make sure we got the right combination going here. Let's see. There it is. All right. Oh. Am I really that dishonest? I mean, really. Here, okay, here, wrists. Okay.
Before, did you read me my rights first?
You have the right to be amazed after everything is done. All right. So let's see. Oh, wow, you big wrists there, dude. All right, I guess I'll have to go this far. I guess 2 feet wasn't enough from Home Depot. All right. Oh, now you know where I buy my props. All right. Okay, hold it up to the light. All right, very good. And there it is. Pick. Okay. All right.
Pick an envelope.
Pick an envelope. Any
There we
envelope.
go.
And Max, was it? Yes.
That's correct.
That is correct. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. And we can stick that over here. That's good. Now, pick a seat. Any seat. Excellent. Clarice, pick a chain and padlock. Any chain and padlock you like. Okay. This one over here. Okay. It is indeed closer. Very good. And let's see.
I didn't know this was happening, I swear.
Okay. All right. Wrists, please. All right. Very good. You do this. We do this. We do this. This goes over well at the birthday parties, believe you me. All right. I know, right? Let's see. you can go ahead and think it, all right?
I'm going to think
all right.
it.
And pick an envelope. Any envelope? All right. Let's see here. Clarice, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the lawyer is not powerful here, but yeah, it's not powerful.
I can imagine I'll still be power bombed
She can
regardless.
practice in Suffolk County now.
Okay, very good. All right, and then I can just put this in and pick a seat, any seat. All right.
I'll go choose these.
Okay. By default, you are left with this choice. Okay, I guess we can put this in the here in the meantime, yeah? All right, and let's see here. We just do this. All right. And then we do this, we do this, we do this, and we do, okay, or I guess, and there we have that. All right. As if you don't have much of a choice, you have this. And let's see. Steve, was it?
Yep.
Steve it is. All right. And the basics of the stage is now all set. Take the remaining seat. All right. Let's see. So we have 4 people. 4 prisoners of my own. Now, let's see. Clarice and Max, could you exchange envelopes? And could you exchange envelopes again? A zero-sum game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you have a choice. You can either exchange envelopes yet again or not exchange them. It's up to you.
What's behind door number 2?
It doesn't matter. All right. Either exchange or not exchange. It doesn't matter.
You want to keep yours?
Okay. Venus and Steve, exchange envelopes. And exchange them again. Another zero-sum game. You can exchange one more time if you like, or you don't have to exchange. It's up to you.
Yeah. One more time.
All right. Brilliant. Now, Venus and Clarice, I am going to ask you to exchange seats. But as you exchange seats, you have the option of exchanging envelopes or not exchanging envelopes. It's up to you.
Want to exchange envelopes as well?
All right. Brilliant. All right. And now, let's see. Venus and Max, exchange envelopes. And one more time. And another time. And another time. One more time, or not one more time, if you know.
What's that?
Okay. Clarice and Steve, same thing. Exchange, 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 exchange.
One more.
One more time, or not one more time.
No.
Okay. So, let's see. Venus, you are comfortable and confident in your decision, okay? Hold on to this. And let's see. Max, you are comfortable and confident in your series of decisions, or so I would lead you to believe. Okay? And Clarice, same for you. And finally, Steve, same for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I should explain. I have found that when people are presented in certain situations, they are compelled to do certain things. You go to a coffee shop like Starbucks, you're sort of compelled to get coffee, right? You go to an amusement park, you see all the cotton candy or other ride, or other, not rides, okay, that's a ride all by itself, different kind of ride. You see all the carnival food, you're compelled to at least try something, like the funnel cake or whatever. You see a ride, like a roller coaster, depending on your temperament, you might want to try that. You know, certain situations suggest that you should do certain things. Here you guys are all locked up, apparently prisoners. Your innate sense compels you to want to find freedom. You see, it's an innate sense, and I was trying to see if it's possible to manipulate or influence that innate sense and see if you guys can bring yourselves to freedom. Now, let's see what you have. Everybody see that? Can everybody see this? Let's see if your unconscious desire to want to be free of your bonds will lead you to freedom. Now, let's see. That says 2200, yes?
Yep.
Now, Venus, if you don't mind, I'm going to put 2200 on yours, all right? This is just to prove a point, if you don't mind. 2200. Does that, in fact, say 220? 2200?
Yeah.
That's Steve's combination. And look, it doesn't work. Clarice, what does yours say?
Let's see, 1920.
1, 9, and that is 2, 0. Can we agree on that? 1920? Venus?
That looks right.
And nothing. And finally, Max, yours says 5144, yes?
That's correct.
Okay, that's 5. That's 1, 4, 4. We've gone down the line. None of their combinations work. Yours says 1257, yes?
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 5, and that's 7. Is that set? Yes, 1, 2, 5, 7?
Yes.
Oh my.
Ladies and gentlemen, free at last! Free at last, and stay there. Thank you. Okay, now, Max, again, to prove a point. Let's see, Steve, so yours is 220, yeah? I'm sorry. You're a big guy. All right, all right. You're also my prisoner in the meantime, at least for the next minute.
And I'm sitting on a steel chair.
There it is. Oh, yeah, all right, yeah. I got a wrestler with a sitting on a steel chair. My fate is sealed. All right, 2200. Is that what it says here?
Yes.
Nothing. Clarice, yours, 1920, yes? Okay, that's a 1. That is a 9. Okay, I'm looking for a 2 and 0. 1920, yes?
Yes.
Nothing. But yours says 5144, yes?
Yes, it does.
Let's see if your desire to pursue freedom will bear fruit. Let's see. 5144. Does that say 5144?
Yes, it does.
No, that's the one you ended up with?
Yes.
Free at last! Free at last. Now, and keep, oh, you're going to have to keep this, by the way. All right. And Clarice, let's just cut to the chase. 220, just to prove a point, okay? Okay, let's see. 2, 2, 0, and 0. Yes?
Yeah.
Nothing. But yours says 1, 9, 2, 0. That says 1920?
Yes.
Free at last. Free at last! All right. Now, and then finally, we come to you, Steve. Hold on a minute, hold on a minute. Here we go. All right, let's just cut to the chase. 2, 2, 0. Yes?
Yes.
And there we have it. The one lock, that 2200, that works. Oh, you know what? Big round of applause for it, first of all. Second of all, do any of you people believe in fate and destiny? That you, by a spin of fate and a twist of destiny, were bound to find your path to freedom. Do you believe that that's possible?
Yes.
Let's find out how possible it is. Venus, you know what? I didn't stop at just making sure you guys were led to draw your things here. Behind your name tag, this is really, can everybody see that?
Oh, Lord.
All right. And Max, can everybody, okay, see that? Clarice, same here, yeah. Here we go, here we go, here we go. And then finally, Steve. Let's just peel away that. Yes?
Wow.
Wow.
But I didn't stop there. No, no, stand up, stand up. Everybody, as one unit, move off to the side. Because in the chairs, Venus, this was your chair, yes?
Yes.
Is that your number?
Yes.
Wow.
Max, that's your chair, that's yours?
That's mine.
Clarice, that's your chair, that's yours?
Oh, wow.
And then Steve, Steve, that's yours?
Wow.
Okay, here. Oh, keep this close to your chest, keep this close to your chest. And here, keep this close to your chest, Clarice, okay? Keep that close to your chest. And Max, do the same, keep this close to your chest. Make sure everybody sees your numbers. And no, this isn't some sort of weird prison photo. Everybody back on camera. Okay. I didn't stop here either.
Oh, boy.
I didn't. All right, Evan, you might like this. I didn't stop here because if I figured, you notice here, 12 decimal 5 decimal 7. The decimals are there for a reason. 5 decimal 1 4 decimal 4, 19 decimal 20, 22 decimal 0 decimal 0. The decimals are there for a reason. It's to separate single digit numbers from two-digit numbers. And if we were to change each number to a corresponding letter of the alphabet, 1 would be A, 2 would be B, 3 would be C, 4 would be D, 5 would be E, so on and so forth, we get letters of the alphabet. But instead of doing it all, the long way, I already went ahead and did this. I'm sorry. On the count of 3, everybody turn your big ones over. 1, 2, 3. And put them close together. What does this say? LEGEENDSTV. Legends TV! Legends TV. Thank you so much. That's my set.
Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website for
Hello everyone, welcome back to Legends TV. I'm now presenting John Winnell.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to have time for one poem. Because the time just seemed to disappear. It's called Memory, the Keeper of Dreams. Sculpted shelves filled with sand, sands of tossed time, twisted like paper, browning with bitterness. All those tears shed, forgotten, gleeful and sad, what was lost, found, buried in caverns and valleys. The wings of crows and ravens bring fury to the skies. Come pick clean the skin of these memories so there's nothing to remember. The stars inhabit a cold, lustrous sky, blinking through centuries, the passing of eternity, dinosaurs that drank rain from swollen rivers, battles fought off the coast of Sparta, Mark Antony as he licked honey off Cleopatra's glistening soft body, the killing of the innocents in Jerusalem, the iron chambers that suffocated at Birkenau, the tender kiss of lovers that melt within the atmosphere. Thank you. Steve Esposito.
All right, thank you everyone. Now I'll do my incredibly short cover. Oh, I'll do my really short comedy set really quick. As you guys might know, my last name is Esposito, which a lot of people ask if I'm Spanish. And I tell them it depends on what job application I'm filling out. Let's see. Yeah, I really don't know how I can get away with saying that I'm Spanish because I only know a couple of words like uno and anything off the Taco Bell menu. Actually, speaking about Taco Bell menu, I noticed that there's an app now where you can just order food online now, which is great because I don't want the 16-year-old behind the counter actually judging me for ordering 17 tacos. I've actually been on a diet, so I really can't eat that many tacos in the first place. I lost about 20 pounds in 6 weeks, which is great, but the urge to eat an entire pizza by myself is still there, and it gets harder every day. I'm actually trying to go back to the gym as well. The first day I went back, I saw a guy sitting on a weight bench with his phone in his hand, and I thought that was like the new thing to do, so I went up to him, I'm like, hey, need a spotter? I get like, it's an iPhone 7, I can help you out with that. I have a degree in criminal justice, which is pretty much just watching the first season of Scooby-Doo Adventures. I'm going to go for my master's and actually start watching CSI. That's the next thing to do. I wanted to be a cop at one point, and then I realized like the idea of just kind of being shot at is not really great, so I'm not doing that. So instead, I got a job at a bank. Actually, the other day I got in trouble, so I had to go talk to the manager of my bank, and he sat there and he goes, Steve, we have a problem. I go, what is it? He's like, your box is short. All of a sudden, I felt like LeBron James, who just lost an NBA match. I'm sitting there and he goes, so what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know, play better, count better. I came to a big realization the other day. Apparently, I've said corned beef wrong. I said corned beef, and for 30 years, no one decided to help me out and fix that for me. So that was really embarrassing. 30 years, no one's ever fixed that for me. Let's see, I live in a studio apartment right now. I just got married, actually, and I've been married for a couple of months now. We live in a studio apartment, which is great when you want to show everyone the room, but you want to stand still. Like, there's the bathroom, there's the kitchen, and here's the living room. It's all great in one spot. The other good thing is, too, is that you don't have to host it. No one wants to ask you to host anything. We have Thanksgiving dinner coming up. We're going to have to eat in shifts now. So. Oh, man. I'm in me and the rest of America, we're all in a bunch of debt. So I'm trying my hardest to get someone to steal my identity. I've been filling out some information on shady websites, hoping that someone will just grab it, but knowing my luck, someone's going to come knock on my front door the next day asking to give my identity back. I'm like, sorry, my name is Juan. I'm Spanish now. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is Legends TV.